provoke Tian. Okey, silakan Tian, apa yang punya opinion? Okey, silakan.
Mungkin, yalah, I mean, negara polis ini ialah satu istilah politik. Kalau kita nak lawan, kalau kita gunakan imagination yang kita boleh untuk describe our enemy, you normally use a more extreme language. You know, I mean, in the West you call it a fascist state. I mean, when I was in Australia, I call Australia a fascist state. So itu biasa dalam satu diskurs politik. Tapi saya nak tambah sedikit nanti. Satu dictatorship ini, whether sebuah negara diurus oleh orang yang baik atau tidak is inconsequential and is irrelevant. And we have dictators. Normally you see dictators come from very good people. I cannot find dictators who are coming from really nasty and really totally bad. I mean, that's really what's it called, exception. In general, dictators come from a system that depends on good people to run the government. Kim Il-sung was a good man. Mugabe was a good man, was a national hero. We see Hugo Chavez as a good man. Dr. Mahathir also been seen as a good man. So I think the issues that in a system which we rely on a good man to run the show, eventually it will go down. So Western system, not that I think is the best one, in the way they assume politicians must be bad. I mean, how can you expect people who cannot trade, they cannot do business, they are not good enough to be lecturer in the university, they are not good enough to be an artist, they are not good enough into anything which is much more comfortable, have enjoyed all the freedoms you have, but you want to be a politician and expose all your private life under scrutiny, and you're supposed to be, you cannot make money. So why, unless you are mad or you are bad? So that's why the system is there, is to make sure, it's not that to make sure good people got elected, even bad people got elected, they have to be behaving within acceptable parameters. I think that's important. We cannot expect the one that run our streets are people who are angels, have the best moral and religious education we give them. Then you cannot get a policeman. Who, if you get someone who is as good as that, they don't want to be a policeman. The issue is how do you make sure people who may not be, we like a lot, but they have to behave within a certain parameter where it doesn't cause harm to the society and turn into giving services. Why dictatorships happen is because we trust good people running the show. After 10 years, they are still good people. After 20 years, we are not too sure they are still good people. After 30 years, and then 50 years, they're going in, and they are for life, and they will begin to behave like, you know, someone that you cannot recognize. But that's the problem. So I think the return to, you ask politicians whether you're good enough, that's the wrong questions. You know, it's the questions of whether we put the right parameters, we put the right system, where anybody run, it will be auto gear, and you minimize the personal factors. You minimize the ability of them going outside the thing. So in a society that keep progressing in the democracy, there will be a lot of buttons which will run automatically. You cannot, whoever is the driver, they cannot change the button. Right? So I think that is what we are aiming for. We are not hoping for God to send us angels to run the country. Thank you.
Okay, any question? Other questions, please?
So di sini di seluruh dunia, dia kerja dia ialah untuk menurut perintah. So kalau civil service yang tak menurut perintah dan start to have the mind of their own, itu pun ada problem. Sebab itu tidak betul kalau kita salahkan mereka. Yang problem ialah mereka sudah lama ditabiatkan dalam keadaan yang tidak membezakan negara dengan parti. Parti itu negara, negara itu parti. Kerajaan. Kalau satu civil service yang profesional, mereka akan menjadi satu proses check and balance. Mereka akan menentang, they will resist perintah yang come from political party interest, dan dia berjaga dengan kepentingan negara. So itu sebenarnya yang yang kita sebutkan profesionalisme. Sebenarnya polis ini bukan untuk get involved in sokong mana-mana parti untuk menjadi untuk survey public opinion tentang siapa Barisan Nasional dapat sokongan berapa persen di kalangan masyarakat. Itu bukan kerja dia. Mereka sepatutnya jaga keamanan, pastikan mereka tangkap kriminal dan lain-lain lagi, bukan untuk menjaga kepentingan ahli-ahli politik. Saya rasa itu yang kita nak, dan tidak ada masalah kalau mereka hanya ikut perintah. Hanya mereka harus tafsirkan perintah itu bermaksud kepentingan kerajaan. You see how dictators and how people who use violence to defend themselves always use the same justification. They could be different religion, they could be from different part of the world, they could even see each other as enemy. You know, with this, the attack of Israel on the peace mission, immediately what they released these guys on the boat taking iron pole to hit back at the what's it called? At the so-called police, the commandos of the Israelis. Immediately I think of Shalom, because you say that why you shoot a 15-year-old kid? They say he got parang, right? So reversing his car, trying to kill us, and in the act of self-defense, we have to kill the 15-year-old. Here also, yeah, the same language is the same. Here is the same argument that, oh well, we got facing with violent crowds of people when we boarded the flotilla, and therefore we have to shoot 15 innocent people for self-defense. So I think this the same type of mentality and mindset, which I think is not so much the negara police. I mean, of course, that's why PAS and some of our friends also would like to say that's a proof, one more proof that UMNO ini Yahudi lah. So that's we will see it in Friday's demonstration. They will use that argument, but in the sense that it is not so much is the Zionists itself. I mean, they don't have monopoly of this type of propaganda, and in fact, all type of authoritarian thinking, whenever they make a whenever they use violence, they always find justification by saying that the other side would act even more violently against us, and therefore we have to preempt them to shoot them down or to inflict violence on them. So that will be a bit of my contribution for this talk about the budaya negara police. Not so much whether we evolve into negara police, but it's, in fact, these are the ciri-ciri yang menunjukkan kecenderungan ke sana. Okay, terima kasih.